Hello? Hi. Okay, good. Good. That's weird. Okay. I can still hear you, but I had the volume output to my TV that's not on right now.
That is weird.
That's funny. It's probably because of Google. Alright. Are you ready to start?
I'm recording.
Recording.
Same here.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Chart Shot Gamescast. Each every week, friends gather around, talk about the things they're doing and the games they've been playing. Today I have Justin with me today.
Today. I am here today.
Are you a Pokemon master today?
Do you even need to ask?
Today we also have Lo with us. What are you?
I'm a master of none.
That's sad.
Jack of all trades?
Yeah, jack of all trades, master of none.
And we also have Ben with us.
Never toss a dwarf.
So you're a dwarf.
Yes.
Ben's a
Actually,
masturbator.
Yeah. Well, I'm openly about that shit. Do you see my likes on Twitter? I'm not ashamed of liking fucking lewds and nude art, and I embrace that shit. Fuck y'all.
I have a friend who likes that stuff too, like the anime, like a lot of like comic book
for me, it's
animated, like people that draw like comic book women really sexy.
Yeah.
And he likes all that stuff, and he shares it. I call him out on it all the time, just because it's fun. And then he's like, "No, I love the art. They look gorgeous." And I'm like, "Okay."
Well,
They look gorgeous.
I like the cosplayers who post like lewds and tease lewds and I'll think about donating to Patreon, but I actually won't because I don't have enough money.
Aw.
It's just awkward because that stuff pops up in my feed, like when people retweet and stuff.
Anime titties.
So
I never see the lewd stuff except for my one friend.
I'm gonna just start retweeting that shit now, just so y'all can get it more in your feeds. Like, here, y'all need more anime titties in your feeds.
Please.
I started following a female cosplayer at some point on Twitter, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, she's attractive looking, and this is a pretty good looking costume too. No big deal." And then later on down the road, like I was probably like at work or something. This is when I worked in an office, so like I was just scrolling through my feed. And I was like, "Oh crap, that's super lewd. I can't. No, okay, can't do that anymore."
Yeah, some of that stuff is tastefully lewd. Some of it is like, "Oh God, how?" Okay, close.
Yeah,
close,
exactly.
Close.
So I'll just like mentally like stuff in my brain as it pops up. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I like that in my brain, but nowhere else."
spank it.
Exactly. And deposited. Thank you, sir. Or madam, or whatever. Just been on with my day.
So, Justin, what have you been up to this week? Nothing? Okay.
Well, no, I always want to talk about games, but like I haven't been playing that much, so I'll get back to that in a second. I wasn't here last weekend because I was celebrating my wedding anniversary, first wedding anniversary, which is weird that I've been married a year because it feels like only yesterday. Although it's been annoying because now on Facebook all this week has been Ireland pictures, like on my on my memories. And I was like, "Why you do this to me, Facebook?"
Facebook never lets you forget.
Right? So that's been both like nice but also frustrating. But yeah, it was a fun little trip. We kept it pretty low key. We went out to wine country, which is not California. It's just middle of nowhere, Missouri, where there's like a weird amount of wineries and a brewery. And yeah, we stayed at an old bed and breakfast, like mansion type place, which was super cool. These people, like these kind of younger people, had taken it over and are working on like kind of modernizing it a little bit. But the room we stayed in was very old. Like it didn't have a shower. It had an old clawfoot tub, and like the pitcher that you scoop water into and like pour on yourself.
Yeah,
there's no shower, like not even like a hand shower attached to the faucet or anything. It was very old fashioned.
Wow.
But was kind of there's a few like new sections that they built on, and you could tell they were working on some of this stuff, but like they didn't want to touch the rooms too much because then they can't make money on them. So it's a slow process. But they had a really neat like, kind of rec room on the main floor with like a TV, the only TV in the building, which was weird. Also, there was no TVs in the rooms. And pool table, which was super nice, like probably the nicest pool table I've ever seen, because they usually go to, like pool halls where there's like holes on it and cigarette burns and things like that. And like the sticks are gone. Yeah, exactly. So we played some pool on a super nice table, which I was a big fan of, while Incredibles 2 was on the TV because their kid was watching that and then like ran away like to do something else because that's what kids do, but it was still on. So we were like, we can watch some Incredibles 2. And she came back in at one point, like sharpen a pencil or something. She was doing some coloring. And was like, I can turn this off if you want. It's like, no, we're watching it. She's like, you're watch, but it's like adults can like kids movies.
Yeah, they can. Novel idea.
It's like, oh, okay, that's fine, and like ran away again. Yeah, I won both games of pool. I just want to point that out because I am fantastic at pool. I'm not actually. I'm just better. I'm better than bad, basically. And then we went back up to the room. This was like probably 9 o'clock. We had a kind of an early, like, we phased out pretty early. We got to town at like noon, had lunch, and then hit all of the wineries and brewery. There's only one brewery. And by like 7 o'clock, we were like, we need food. So we got some pizza and went back to the room because it was all kind of getting to our stomachs. And so yeah, we like by 9 o'clock or so, we were in bed at the hotel, at the bed and breakfast, and our room was right above that rec room. So around that time, like other people were starting to kind of shuffle back in from being out, and like making a lot of noise in the room underneath us. So like I said, there was no TV in our room, so we just pulled up her tablet, my wife's tablet, and like set it on this little kind of like bed desk thing that was sitting off to the side. I assume it was some kind of like old-fashioned, like TV tray or something like that they'd bring breakfast in on, like the maids would bring breakfast in on. But it kind of sets up, so we just put the tablet on that and watched Netflix on the bed and breakfast Wi-Fi. Until like I watched Cloverfield for the first time. Never saw it because it was never available on streaming stuff, and I just kind of missed the wave when it was popular,
like the first movie.
Yeah, that's not a great movie to watch on an 8-inch tablet screen when you're trying to like with thin walls
on your
just be like, well, that was fine. I mean, that's what we do.
It's just it's not like a romantic movie or anything like that.
No, it's not. But who cares? We don't do romantic movies, really.
Yeah. Who needs all that?
And yeah, so it's like if you've seen that movie, it's a lot of shaky cam and a lot of just like bursts of action every now and then. So it would just be like super quiet and like hard to tell what was happening on the little screen. And so I'd kind of lean in and like turn it up, and then suddenly like stuff would explode and like buildings would crumble and it'd just be like all over the place. And I turn it back down real quick. I'm like, someone's gonna hear us and like get mad at us. So it was not the best viewing experience, but that's a solid movie. I can understand why people want more from that universe. But yeah, so that was kind of the weekend. We went to another place like on our way back Sunday that was like, it's a winery that doesn't make any wine out of grapes. So like they ferment different fruits. So instead of like using a grape base and like adding blueberry or peach or something to that, it's like they actually ferment like blueberries and peaches, or I think it's pears. I guess they have a peach and a strawberry they're working on right now, but we picked up an apple wine from them that was really good, and they had like kind of a spice mix and stuff, and you can like heat that and kind of make like an apple wine cider, which was pretty good. But yeah, it was just a really unique. Like I didn't know you could basically turn any fruit into wine. Although I think in Stardew Valley you can, so I should have known.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, they do that in Stardew. That must be a real thing.
Nice.
Well, I mean, I know you can do it in Stardew Valley, but I didn't know it was a real thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's like a crazy amount of different fruit options, and they had one that was pecan, like pecan wine. Apparently, you can just like ferment pecans for alcohol content. It wasn't amazing. Like it was kind of a weird, like almost like caramely, like smooth. I don't really know how to describe it. It didn't taste like wine, but it was really like creamy, and I don't know. It was weird.
Interesting.
But yeah, and then I didn't do a lot of anything. Tuesday, Spyro came out, so I got home and was gonna play that. But even though I pre-ordered it, and like it came out Tuesday, it was not even like I had to add it to my download queue and like start the download when I got home Tuesday.
That's annoying.
The PS4 is so stupid sometimes.
No.
Because it's not. I think it's the fact that it's not always online. Like with Switch, you can preload games. Like that, the backwards Nintendo console everyone complains about the internet on. You can have a game ready to go by midnight if you pre-order the digital version and preload it onto your system. PS4 for some reason doesn't do that.
I was able to preload Red Dead.
It didn't work for this.
I guess Spyro
it didn't work for
for
Spider-Man, I think, or no, the DLC of Spider-Man. It didn't work for. It just like I bought it on the store and it just chills there until you go to download the PS4 after it's out. I don't know. Maybe it's a fake game, but
yeah, maybe it's only some games can do it.
Maybe, but it took about 2 hours until it was like playable. Which I thought was going to be Spyro 1, and then like 2 and 3 were the rest of the download. So I just jumped in. I'm like, whatever, I'll just play Spyro 1 right now. The rest can download later. It'll download in the background. Doesn't matter.
You know what it is? It's probably because like you said you couldn't work for the DLC. It's probably because they read the other 2 Spyro games as DLC for the main game. So maybe that's why those wouldn't download or whatever.
No. That's totally unrelated. Okay. I was just saying, like, it all started downloading, and it got to like the playable point, which I thought was just Spyro 1. I'm saying like this is after I forced it to download.
Okay.
Like 2 hours in, yeah. So I started playing Spyro 1, and the first like world of that, like all the levels in the first world before you go off in the blimp or whatever, they're pretty quick. I guess I forgot how quick those first few areas are. Or they felt bigger back on the PS1. I don't know. But I finished that all up and then went to the hot air balloon guy, and it said, "Do you want to head to whatever the next hub world is?" I don't remember. And then it goes to an installing screen. So it's like that 20 gig or whatever they had waited on for like 2.5 hours was just the first hub world of Spyro 1.
Really?
The rest of the 3 games was still in that download. Which did not continue downloading while I was playing, by the way. It just stopped it. So it's like it made it playable, but then it stops the download when you play it. It's stupid.
That's awful. That's awful.
So, yeah, I had to wait until Wednesday to continue playing Spyro, which wasn't a big deal. It was like 9:30 at that point anyway. But Wednesday I got home and didn't have internet. So luckily Spyro had finished during the day, so I just played Spyro all night. Not a big deal. But it was still a frustrating inconvenience to come home to no internet, because I spent most of the night, like while playing Spyro, like on a text chat with the CenturyLink customer service on my phone. Because I'm not going to call them. If I'm going to be on hold and like wait for responses and stuff, at least I can do other things while I'm doing it. Right. So yeah, I spent like 2 hours on this text chat as they ran me around and tried to sell me a better package while their current service wasn't working.
Of course.
Know your place, people. Maybe wait until it's working and then say, "Oh, good. Are you happy with your service? Do you want something better?" Anyway, yeah. So yeah, I was kind of typing along, doing some Spyro stuff, typing along. And then tonight, as of this recording on Friday, Let's Go, or Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu or Eevee came out, specifically Eevee. And I played a little bit of that. I jumped into it. I wanted to try out the little Pokeball attachment that I showed a little bit ago on the video feed. Because like I didn't understand. It has a control stick, like a little, little nub here, and it clicks in as like your A button. Oops, I just turned it on. And then it has kind of like a little space on the top side. That's another button. It's basically your B button, but that's it. Like there's two buttons, A and B, basically, and then the stick. And so I wasn't sure how that would correspond to the game, because when you get into the game, it asks you what type of controller you want to use. And if you select the Pokeball, it doesn't change the inputs on screen. It still has like A, B, X, Y, like kind of weird when this is a specific accessory for this game.
Weird.
And whenever it shows X or Y, I'm like, I don't know what those correspond to. Or like plus and minus. I'm like, how do I do those? Apparently, they're all pretty much mapped to like a motion, like a waggle.
Oh, great.
But they don't make that clear. So you just have to like figure it out. So like I hit the bat, like the little B thing on there, and it goes into the party screen. So like your bag, your Pokemon, your Pokedex, connectivity, things like that. And if you waggle on that screen, it goes to the settings. If you waggle like outside, like while you're just running around in the game, it goes to your like play with your Pokemon screen. It's like nowhere does it tell you that.
That sounds as convoluted as like Skyward Sword controls,
right? It honestly, like, it's fun to play with because it's just kind of a nice like little ergonomic. Like I was just kind of like chilling, holding it, like thumb on the stick, just move it around. You click in to do A. Like it's really easy to use, but there's just certain things you can't do or that take an extra step because you have to like instead of just hitting a click button, you have to like hit A on the Pokemon, for example, to go into like the description of their stats and things like that. Whereas otherwise it would just be like hit Y or something, and it automatically like goes into different screens. So there's little things like that where it's like, why didn't they just put like another button on this or something? Or remap the controls to better suit this accessory specifically made for this game. Things like that. But it is good so far. For some reason, my monitor, like my computer monitor that I have my Switch hooked up to, just isn't working sound anymore. It was a Spyro last night, but Pokemon wasn't registering sound. So the only noise I was getting was like the Pokeball sounds whenever you do stuff. So like I wasn't getting any background music or anything. But like when you catch something, you like hear the Pokemon cry in the ball, which is pretty cool. And like it vibrates, like it has the HD rumble in there, like when you catch them, things like that. So I was hearing all that stuff, but the game was totally silent. It was kind of jarring.
Weird.
But it's really pretty. I super like that Pokemon are just out in the wild with you. Like it feels like a real world that you're running around in, and the Pokemon inhabit it with you. I think we're going to talk about it later, but it's kind of like the Detective Pikachu trailer, where it's like people just walk around and Pokemon exist in this world, simultaneously. It's like that, but you can run into them and capture them like slaves. But there's just some weird choices they made. Like overall, I am enjoying it. It's more Pokemon. It's kind of what you would expect it to be. But there's a lot of conveniences they put in there. Like you don't have to go to the Pokemon Center and like go to your box to transfer Pokemon or anything. You can just do that from the main menu. So like you can change out your party on the fly. You have like every Pokemon you catch, you have with you at all times. It's just choosing which 6 are in your party. That is an amazing feature.
Cool.
But then they have things where like when you're on like the main party screen, and you want to like learn a new move, you have to select a move to see like what the details on it. Whereas like in the last few games, they just showed that on the move, like it was a bigger box. And when you're on an HD screen like that, you can fit a lot more things on the screen. They should have kind of given you more of that information. And like when you're trying to switch things out, you can't see the types that they are. You can only see their name and their level. So it's like weird. Like this is supposed to be a kind of a my first Pokemon game, but the simplest things aren't listed there for in an intuitive way. Where it's like if you want to make the perfect party and you don't know what all these Pokemon are, you have to like select each one, go to their summary, see what they are, and then decide if you want to switch them. And it takes so much longer. You have the room on there just to put type, subtype, and like a little bit of information about their stats. But I feel like they're still thinking on like a handheld scale with this game. It doesn't feel as big as the Switch should allow. Also, so far it's just been really easy. Like your starter Pokemon is super OP. And so I never really have any reason to switch out because you start out with the experience share. So like every battle, everyone gets experience. Every time you catch a Pokemon, everyone gets experience. So I just play with my Eevee. Like, because everyone's raising in level, so why not use my super strong Eevee all the time?
Why not? Yeah.
I'm sure it'll get better as like I get more variety of things because I'm still just like I'm just out of the Viridian Forest. But the early game feels really simple and easy. So that's kind of the main stuff with that. I wanted to play enough so that I could report on it, but obviously I've had maybe 2 hours with it at max because we went out to dinner. We're looking pretty seriously at a house. We're kind of talking about some stuff with that. It took a lot of my night, but
nice.
Yeah, I mean it's fun. Like I like it. I'm not disappointed at all. And I want to play around with the Pokeball more because you can sync it to Pokemon Go and do all that stuff with it. The free Mew was pretty cool too. Like I could have transferred it from Pokemon Go, but you can't do any of those transfers until like pretty late game. So hey, free Mew in my ball. Why not?
In my balls.
Yeah, free Mew in my balls. And I think you can put any other Pokemon in there too and take it with you, and it'll like get candies and stuff while you're out.
Yeah, drowsy in my balls. It's funny to me, damn it.
I was trying to think of another funny one. But I got nothing.
What's it? Hey, girl, I got a Gyarados in my balls. You want to see?
Hey, girl, you want to touch that Lickitung in my balls?
You want to see my Ekans? I got Ekans in my balls.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all I got though, as far as games and stuff. We're just gonna move on.
I made it lewd, and I love it.
Because I was gonna do a play on Arbok, and I decided not to.
There's an Arcock in my
Arbok.
balls.
Arbok on this dick.
No.
Okay.
Who's next?
No, we're just gonna sit in this awkward silence. Oh, what have you been up to? I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. So
I'm
this
glad
last
you made it out of that
was
fire.
Oh yeah. It's just California. So it's just so last weekend, my fiance she went on this girls trip or whatever. It was in California. So I'm like, oh, let me drive you. I'll drop you off. So then I was maybe like 30 minutes from my hometown. So I was like, okay, I'll go visit home. So I was visiting home, and then next thing I know, she's calling me. She's like, hey, all the roads are closed because there's a big fire that just broke. I was like, oh, great. So I guess I'm staying for a while. So I ended up hanging out in my hometown for a couple of days while that all got sorted out. I think they opened up like the next day or two later. But while I was there, I actually I was going through my parents' storage, and I'm going to show you guys for the video, but just for those of you that are listening, I found it's a Neo Geo Pocket Color. So I was hoping you would have that reaction.
You know how fucking expensive that shit is now?
First thing I did when I realized I still had it in my possession, I was like, holy crap, I thought this thing got like destroyed or like thrown out or something. But it's still pretty good. The screen only has like really super duper minor scratches, and I'm pretty sure they were just from the last time I played it, which was like probably 20 years ago now. But
Wow.
Here's one thing about it though. This is a cool little handheld. The screen's a good size, it's color, it has a little analog stick thing, perfect for fighters. But that's one thing. I had SNK versus Capcom, Match the Millennium or whatever, but it wasn't with all my stuff, so I was like, oh crap, like, well, maybe I can just buy another one. How much could it be? I looked, $85. I'm like,
yep.
Everything else, Samurai Showdown, King of Fighters, Fatal Fury, like $20. I'm like, those are reasonable. I'm like, I paid $20 for, like, you know, a little cartridge for Neo Geo Pod Color, like whatever. It's like a little niche little handheld, but not $80 though. So, you know, if it turns up, it turns up. It probably won't, but it was a cool little find though. I mean, I also found my my Game Gear from back in the day, but I don't care about that. That's decoration sitting on the shelf.
I liked the Game Gear. That was my. I mean, I didn't own one, but I played it a lot.
No, it was a great little handheld. It's just the batteries. You needed six.
Yeah.
There was like battery life, and the battery life was terrible, and then also there was like maybe 5 good games for it. And I owned them all.
And I usually just had it plugged in. I usually just had it plugged into the wall because I'm just like, whatever. Like, I'm not gonna like.
Right, exactly. That's what yeah.
So then I lost the AC thing. So now it's just sitting on the shelf as a decoration. But yeah, this thing's pretty cool. I'm gonna look around the Neo Geo Pocket. That is, I might actually look around and try to find at least like Fatal Fury or King of Fighters or something like that, just because it's just this little analog stick thing is just like begging to get used. I feel
it's so innovative as a handheld.
It's really
satisfying. Was it probably the first handheld to have a joystick, or the first console, like the first system to have a joystick?
I think it was one of the first, definitely. I don't know about like console in general, but I don't know of any other handheld that had this kind of like little analog sort of deal. But
no, because you only had the Game Boy, at least. At that time, that was just straight up D-pad.
Right, right. So yeah, so that was a cool little find. So that's I'm adding it to my little sort of shelf of decorations and stuff like that.
The Neo Geo Pocket Color came out in '99. So
99. That was a good year.
So yeah, there would have been like the 64 would have been out by then.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And just
but there would be no other handhelds that had it.
And also just like joysticks in general, it would have been like Atari or something.
Something before. I joystick was the wrong term. Analog stick is what I meant.
Analog, yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, I know what you're trying to say, but yeah, it's pretty cool because one thing I was like, oh, I wish this thing was backlit. That's one of the things I wish like it had, but I've seen I looked online and I guess some people like modded theirs to have like a little backlight and stuff. I'm like, that sounds like it'll work, so I'll just play it when the lights
are old school.
I can relate.
That sounds really like it would hurt the value of the product.
Yeah, exactly. But I guess some of them were selling on eBay for a couple $100, and I was like, "Wow, that's cool that there's a little markets for that kind of deal."
You go buy that fucking booklight that you would use. That's what I did.
I had one of those for my GBA, the first gen GBA, the one that was like more rectangular. Man, I love that thing.
That thing was a cool design. I don't know. It was like ergonomic.
The thing that I had, it was like a little attachment. You plugged it into the top. It was kind of like a little clamshell sort of thing. It folded over and it protected the screen while you weren't using it. And while you were using it, it was just like a little. It could also act as a little,
I had that
like,
too.
light. Okay, cool. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Do you remember? Let's go deep into old handheld accessories real quick. Do you remember for one, all of the goofy Game Boy things that like make it like this massive like Megatron, but
yes,
specifically the one that was like a magnifying light.
Right.
It was like a ring light, but like also was a magnifying glass.
I had that for the Genesis, or not the Genesis. The what's it called?
The Nomad.
The thing that he had, I can't remember the Game Gear. Yes, I had that for the Game Gear. It's so stupid.
That's awesome.
It wasn't a good magnification. It was like all wonky and like you have to look exactly at the center.
Yeah. Yeah. I had my Game Gear. Like my best memories with my Game Gear was I was in the hospital after having an asthma attack. So they just gave me like my parents came by and gave me my Game Gear. So it was plugged into the wall, and I would just sit in bed, like the hospital bed, playing Game Gear all day.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty good stuff.
Good stuff.
I had Streets of Rage, I think 2. Yeah, definitely 2. Yeah, it was 2.
Ooh, good one.
For it, and I think that was probably the best game on that platform.
Yeah.
I can't remember what other things I had. I remember I had a baseball game. I don't know who any of the people were, but I liked baseball when I was a kid.
Did you have columns?
That doesn't sound familiar.
Columns. It was like one of those, like, it was like a puzzle game. It was kind of like a rip off of Tetris, basically.
And then the other thing I remember is I had the Sonic game, first one for that.
Sonic Triple Trouble?
I think it was just the first.
There were a
Sonic.
few.
I don't remember.
The first Sonic game, just Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, that was on Game Gear, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a couple of Sonic.
I think that's the one I played.
Yeah, so that's what I remember with like my Game Gear. I also remember being car sick with my Game Gear at one point. How weird is it that you get car sick? Like, you just drive in a car. It seems so simple now. It's like, get in a car and you go. Like, I don't know.
It's the same reason people get like VR sick whenever they try to, like, you know, you in the game you go from standing to sitting, but like you're standing while playing, and so it's like the vertigo idea. It's like you're in a car, you know, the car is moving, like you're trying to play a game that's like going in a direction, and it doesn't match the momentum of the car. It's weird.
I just remember barfing all over the back seat.
Oh no!
Gross.
Yeah. Good times.
I'm sorry, I let you finish.
I can just picture it now. Young Thomas in the back seat. Gotta go. Bleh.
Yeah. Yeah, I never had a Game Boy, like the original Game Boy. My cousins had that. They played like Dr. Mario and stuff like that.
Nice.
I have one in the bedroom right now, an old like gray brick, but they're not worth much, sadly.
Yeah, because they were everywhere. They sold millions.
Yeah, but like, great. I guess it's because they don't ever die. Like, mine still works. It has Mario Land in it.
Yeah. Well, you've heard that story, right? Where like it survived the shelling and like during like the Afghan war and everything like that.
Yeah, but that would affect its property value because it's like there's so many still in circulation because they never die. But I just keep it as a keepsake. I think it's cool because it's not my original. I actually had an old red one. Like, it was still the brick, but it was red.
Cool.
And that's long gone. But like my I guess ex stepbrother, like found a gray brick that he had growing up. I guess he's like, "You want this? Like, I don't need it. Just take it." So now I have his. So it's like, it's the same thing that I had, just gray instead of red. But it's not the one I had growing up. It's weird.
It's time to system link those two. Trade some Pokemon.
I don't have any Pokemon games, actually. On 8, I mean. I've got like DS and 3DS ones.
Yeah.
And Game Boy Advance. I've got Leaf Green, I think.
Yeah. Like, the only times I ever played with a game, like ever seen a Game Boy or a Game Boy Color, was like my cousins or the school ground. There was like these bleachers next to the baseball diamond that we had, and he just had like 10 or 12 kids just huddling around one person trying to see what he was doing. Yeah,
that's pretty popular.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other stories about handheld stuff, Ben?
No, not really.
No.
You weren't rich enough to have a portable gaming system.
No, I mean, my dad was a manager at a video game store, so like
he had everything.
I had it, baby. I'm boring. I don't know if you know this, but I'm boring.
I thought you might have had a cool story. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, not really. Not with a handheld. It's just like I had them, but I never had like a cool one. I remember. I mean, like the only story I can remember is that like I never had a Game Boy. Never had one. Never wanted to touch it. It looked boring to me as a kid. But I remember my dad surprised. I love when my dad would do this. He never did it often, but he came home and we had Game Boys. Like, I had a lime green Game Boy Color. I love that thing. And then he was like, my dad likes to play. My dad liked to play tricks on me and my brothers when we were growing up. So like, sons, I have to take away your Game Boys. I'm like, why? We thought we were being punished. And he's like, just give them to me. You'll understand in a moment. I'm like, and we're all sad. Like, my younger brother's like starting to cry. I'm like, my dad's just like just straight edge. And he goes, I want you to close your eyes. And we thought we were going to get a butt whooping, you know, because we thought we did something. We just thought we did something. Next thing you know, he goes, hold out your hand. And I was like, oh, no, he's going to slap our hands. So, and then I feel something in my hands, and we all open our eyes, and like they're all Game Boy Advances. He got us all Game Boy Advances.
Wow.
I had my brother got a dark purple one. I got a white one. I love that
Whoa.
that white Game Boy Advance one.
The white one was so cool.
The white
Yeah, and then my
one.
brother got the clear one. If I ever buy another game, I won't buy Game Boy Advance because like there's no reason to at this point. Because I have a DS. But like if I ever do buy one for sentimental value, I want to buy the white one again because I love that one so much. And it's again, like Justin said, it's such a cool looking system, and you know, then my love of RPGs started happening.
Golden Sun, right? That's your
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Golden Sun and Advance Wars fucking ruled my summer that year. Like they were just the
Nice.
games I played.
You know what? The Tony Hawk game wasn't bad either for Game Boy Advance.
Oh, yeah, I loved those. Like they were top down, but they were Tony Hawk. It was unabashed Tony Hawk.
Well, the controls just made sense for the perspective and all that stuff, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. At first, I was like, no, this isn't gonna work, and then I was like, no, it totally works.
Yeah. Because I played GBA was when I got into ROMs, and so I never owned the Tony Hawk games, but I played the crap out of them on computer, and they were solid. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
Oh yeah.
My Game Boy Advance was an old well, it wasn't old, but it was the like Target exclusive purple. So it was a purple Game Boy Advance, but it had the Target logo across the top
That's probably worth money today.
part around the screen. So it's like this trashy like brand, like, you know, tramp stamped Game Boy Advance. But I still loved it because it was a Game Boy Advance. I didn't even care. It was an awesome system. So good still.
So, Lo, what have you been playing?
Oh yeah. So I just been playing a little bit of a lot of things. Earlier this week, we actually watched Outlaw King on Netflix. It's a pretty cool movie. I liked it. I enjoyed it. And I was like, oh, I want to do that, but in a game. So
Is that Chris Pine, right?
I don't know.
Okay.
Probably. Sure.
I know there was like a medieval thing of Chris Pine on Netflix.
Don't you see his dong in that?
If
That's all I've heard about it.
you do, I missed it. Again, I wasn't looking for it. Like, where's that dog? You know?
Couldn't see it.
Hey, it's that dog.
There's that dog. I've been looking for you. But anyways, so yeah, we watched that. I thought it was pretty good. It was an enjoyable movie. That is historically relevant. So I was like, oh, I want to do that, but in a game. So I played a little bit of. I played actually a little bit. I say a little bit, but it was actually quite a long session. I played a Mount and Blade Warband.
Oh, okay.
Interesting game, and I remember when I first tried it, I played it like years ago, and I was like, oh, this game looks interesting and kind of janky, but once you get into it, it's pretty fun, for lack of a better term. There's a lot of stuff you can do. Mostly I'm just running around, just killing bandits and stuff, just getting my name out there, striking fear into the hearts of people so I can be king one day. But anyways, yeah, so I played some of that. I played some Destiny too, just so I can get that what's it called, the Thunderlord.
Thunderlord.
The gun is so cool. I just wish
so
it wasn't
cool.
a heavy weapon, because it's just like, yeah, I'm totally badass and I'm out of ammo.
You get a lot of shots with that. You get like 200 something shots.
Yeah. I just felt like it was just over so quickly. I just wish it was. I wish either more heavy ammo dropped, or I just wish I had more ammo for that gun. Just
You gotta
all the time.
spec so that more heavy ammo drops, man. That's the key. That's what I do. I usually spec for heavy ammo, and if I'm using a sniper rifle, I use special ammo. But yeah, the Thunderlord thing is awesome. Like I just
It's a cool gun.
I only got it recently. I only used it on a couple strikes, but it just melts through enemies. Like the main boss at the end, you know the one that drops the 3 levels, the Vex boss.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we killed it before it got to we killed it on the 2nd level, like when we just got to it. And I didn't even realize, like it just disappeared, and then the chest was down there. I was like, wait, what? Like we killed it?
That's awesome.
Yeah, that gun's cool.
That's so cool.
It just shoots lightning. Like you shoot people, they die, and lightning just explodes everywhere.
What's not to like? What is not to like?
Yeah, cool gun.
So other than that, I still like using the what was it called?
Graviton Lance. Yeah, that's a good guy.
I just like when it kills people, they blow up and they like spawn like little ball and they just blow up too. And like if it kills them,
yeah, when you get a bunch of hive together and you shoot one, and then they all just blow up into void. Yeah,
I just love stuff like that. Just like the on kill effects and stuff. So
yeah, the mission for getting the Thunderlord is pretty cool too. Like you go back to the original Cosmodome.
Yeah.
It's really short, and I'm like a little bit depressed about that. I was like, oh, I kind of want to run around and see the rest of this place, like as it is now. So I don't know. Maybe they'll do something with that.
It's funny because I only played a very little bit of Destiny 1, and it was like during like beta on like 360 or something. But I remember that one scene because it was like like the opening scene basically. And
all the cars and then that spot, and you have to run in.
I even posted in the chat. I'm like, isn't this from the first game? It was like, I remember this from somewhere. It was a cool mission though. It was a lot of fun. And then I don't know. It kind of makes me wish they would just like take all the missions and stuff from Destiny 1 and like bring them over. So like I don't know. So I could kind of like go back and
give
just like
give it some of the Hitman 2 treatment where you get all the maps from the first game into the second.
Something like that.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
I'd be into that, or at least like add some more strikes or something like that that are like kind of relevant. That'd be cool. Just because I don't know, because I never really played Destiny 1 much aside from that beta. And then I just jumped into 2. I was like, oh, this is a cool world. I wish I could experience like more of it. And, so that'd be nice. But who knows? Maybe someday. Maybe somewhere out there.
They gotta do something, man. I talked about it last week. Destiny 2 not looking too good for Activision.
Yeah.
Ooh. Our games as service game isn't making enough money.
Womp womp. It wasn't free last week too, or is that
still free, isn't it?
No, I think it's until November 15th, and that was yesterday.
Oh, it's already.
I thought it was the 18th,
or maybe it is the 18th. I don't know.
Well, by the time people listen to this, it'll be over.
Because the 18th would be Sunday, so that would make sense.
All right.
The 15th is the Thursday. That's kind of random.
I don't know.
That is random.
I already have the game. Why do I care?
True.
Exactly. That was kind of interesting. It just seemed kind of like a push for like new Destiny players, because then they had that free thing, and then they're like, oh, you can get this cool gun too, and just happens to be just do missions on Earth, which is like the first place you get access to. I saw a bunch of like low levels running around and stuff.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of fun to see. It's like,
I remember when I was like you one day. I used to be like you.
Just wait until they get addicted.
Right. Yeah, Destiny's not any less fun than it ever has been when I played it, so
glowing recommendation.
I guess I'm just trash now because my light level's so low. I'm still in the 300s. It's been that long since I played last time. I don't know. I don't even know how that crap works. I'm just like, oh, my number's not as big as everybody else's. I feel inadequate, I think.
Not to hijack your spot, but we did the Last Wish, or not the Last Wish raid, the Shattered Throne, and so we finally got to the main boss, and what you have to do is you have to weaken its shield down, so you have to kill these 4 wizards on the outside before the timer ticks down, and then the shield goes down, you have to damage it until it goes back up. And man, we spent maybe like an hour and a half maybe trying to get this thing done. Just killing the boss.
Really?
Yeah, because me and my dad were like 600, and my friend was like maybe 550, something like that.
Oh wow!
So he's like 40 levels below the recommended level, and so he just kept dying. So what he did, he just ran around and started distracting all the enemies so we could do our work, and it finally worked out. And we were so freaking happy when we got that done. And so now we just have to do the secret bosses for the Shattered Throne. So next time it comes around, we can just do the secret bosses and get that bow. Super cool.
Ooh,
yeah.
Fancy.
But yeah, continue.
Fancy. No, that's really it. I went in and got that gun, did a few strikes. I was like, okay, I'm cool. I've had enough. So I just quietly logged out. Let's see, what else have I been playing? Not really too much else. I've been doodling a lot more lately, thinking about things and stuff.
Yeah, I saw your Twitter account. With the
Yeah,
little draw.
yeah, I did that too. I actually did that like 6 months ago. I had started another Twitter account for like all my art and stuff, so I
Yeah.
can just like post all my doodles and crap.
Oh, you
And then
did?
I actually wanted to like share things to it before I actually, like started like, hey people, look, I have this other art thing. Like follow me.
What's it called? The
But,
Nero the Artist or something?
Yeah, it's called Nero the Artist, I believe. The actual, I think the actual Twitter handle is actually Nero A, N3R0A, I believe. Yeah,
okay.
yeah, that's it. But if you look up Nero the Artist, you can still find that. But
Should still
just
pop
mostly
up.
doodles and things like that. So I've just been that's what I was doing earlier before all this, actually, just doodling and paint tool side with my little tiny little Wacom tablet, however the hell you pronounce that.
I always heard
I do
Wacom.
not know how to pronounce that. My drawing tablet thing. So yeah,
Yes.
just been doing some ideas. Thinking about superheroes and stuff lately, because I actually when I was back home, I watched again Thor Ragnarok. I was like, oh yeah, I like this movie. This movie's cool. It kind of made me want to watch Infinity War again. So it then made me start thinking about superheroes and stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, cool. Let's draw more superhero crap. So I've been doing some of that. I think that's it. Game-wise, I can't think of anything else that I played that is of significance. Nope, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for me.
Ben, what have you been up to?
Well, last week, obviously, I kind of delayed the podcast a little bit because I was obsessed with Lord of the Rings, because I recently rewatched the entire extended trilogy because I bought it on Blu-ray. And after I finished Return of the King on Sunday, I was like, well, fuck, I want more. Give me more. I went to Steam.
So you watched the vastly superior Hobbit trilogy. Awesome.
Hell no. I ain't touching those.
Don't touch that shit.
I refuse to have. I'm not gonna be a jaded Star Wars fan. I'm just gonna love what I love and not trash The Hobbit, but also not watch it either. Anyways,
I'll trash the Hobbit
Sounds
any
like a
day.
jaded Lord of the Rings fan.
well, no. It's fine. If people
Yeah,
no,
what's that?
'cause I'm like, if people like it, that's fine. I'm not gonna judge you, but I'm gonna exist in my little perfect box, not harm anybody. This is my precious. Anyway,
But you're going to be jaded and only watch the thing you want to watch.
oh yeah, because that's entertainment. Duh.
So
Anyway,
that's jaded.
no, because I like it. I'm not hating it. Anyways, so I went to Steam. What Lord of the Rings games can I play that are quick for $1? And all I saw was Shadow and Mordor, and I was like, fuck that. I looked at my shelf. I realized, oh, wait, I have some Lord of the Rings games for my PS2 that I still have hooked up. And
The hack and slash ones?
yes, I do have those, but I didn't want to play those. Not yet. I probably will at some point.
Okay.
So I put in Lord of the Rings: The Third Age. Now, if you're not familiar with this one came out like right after the trilogy ended. Oh, and Justin Lee just started talking about this. I see how it is. Anyway, he's not gonna hear that.
I don't even know what the hell the Third Age is. I've heard of it, but I don't know what the hell it is.
Basically, for those of you who don't know, and it's not available digitally, which kind of sucks. I think it might have been at one point, but
I thought it was on Steam.
I looked, I searched it. It's not on Steam. I would have
Oh.
bought it on Steam.
Maybe they got rid of it because it was so bad.
Yeah, but it's basically a non-canon Lord of the Rings story. So instead of like playing as like Aragorn or Legolas or Gimli, following their adventure, you play at it opens up with you playing as Barethor, this original character, do not steal, who's on the trail of Boromir, who's one of the main characters in Fellowship of the Ring, and you're that's what they're told you initially. You're gonna you were sent by by Denethor, the Sword of Gondor, to follow him to get the ring back for Gondor, because men are assholes in Lord of the Rings. And as you play and you're basically
Everyone's an
up
asshole in Lord of the Rings,
well, the men are specifically,
except for the hobbits. Those guys.
yeah. The hobbits are like what you aspire to be. And so throughout the game, the whole story is like you're basically following the Fellowship. Like you find their campsite from like when the crows find them. You go through the mines of Moria. You fight the Balrog with Gandalf, which is pretty fucking cool. You fight at Helm's Deep alongside Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli, and they're like playable characters in this game. I'll describe what kind of game it is, and they're OP as fuck. But at some point, and once you get to Rohan, that's when the story starts to like drift away from mimicking. You still follow the movie storyline for the most part, but it becomes more focused on Barathor, because spoilers, because fuck it, it doesn't really matter, because it kind of gives it away early on. The main character was originally apparently there was a fight at Osgiliath. That's that city that you see in Return of the King that gets overrun really quickly at the beginning of the movie, I think. And he was on that in this non-canonical version. He was on it. He got stabbed by a ring wraith, runs away, gets captured by Saruman, and he was going to be used as a hidden agent to get the ring to him. And it basically leads them to try to purify his soul. But it's not really clear that's what the story is about. You don't really get hints until you get to Rohan and you meet this one woman who's like, I used to be of Gondorian and I was going to marry this dude, despite that dude is also Barathor. It's really weird. But so yeah, it does a good job of putting you in the world of the movies. Like for a PS2 game, it doesn't look that bad. Like it's aged obviously, but like the lighting, the sort of how the mountains are shaped, the sky, like everything feels like, yeah, I'm in Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings, and that's what I wanted. The weird thing though is that this is a game that was published by EA in 2004, and it's a turn-based RPG. Like it's not like it's not a hack and slash, but it's not JRPG either. The most JRPG it gets is its turn-based battle system. It's very much skill-based leveling up, in a sense. So basically, and you know how you level up in most RPGs, and you would get your stats increased. Here, it's more Western, where you'll only get like every level you get 2 points, and you can allocate those 2 points to like dexterity. All these other terms I don't give a fuck what they are. I know what they are. When I read them, I know what they are, but they'll tell you what they are, and you can craft your character if you want. But obviously, certain characters, well, you use magic attack better. You're a better physical attacker. You're the Ryu of this team. And it's sort of like that, and it works, and it does the thing I love in JRPGs or in RPGs that at the time a lot of RPGs didn't do, is that you get customizable armor. So you find chests, of course, and like get like a new helmet, and it'll reflect not on just the battle scenes, but in the overworld too. You get different weapons, different sets of armor that have bonuses or that boost up your stats or decrease your stats. So it kind of was like, well, I could go with this. That boosts up my dexterity, but that doesn't really help me at the situation, so I can go with this. It's really fun, and I want to look my characters look cool. The team is the cast of characters. They're not that memorable. They're basically carbon copies of the Fellowship. I already mentioned Barathor. You have an elf. She's kind of cool, although it's weird because like they do this weird thing where like the elf, I think his name is Lida or something like that, not Ildia or something like that. I don't remember. It's a weird elf name, and like she's partnering around with Barathor at the beginning, and then all of a sudden they're in Moria, and she just kisses him and she says to him in Elvish, "You have my love." I'm like, wait, where the fuck did that come from? Like, you've been nothing but like hostile with him this entire time, and now you want to make out with him when you're running from a fire demon? Okay, fine, whatever. And then she gets super jelly when you meet up with this Rohirrim girl, and he's like, I will help you out. It's like, oh, you're only doing this because she's a pretty face. I'm like, you were just making out with me not like a month ago. Where is this hustler coming from? It's just weird like that. But got a dwarf, but he's basically Gimli light. And he's even more boring Gimli because he doesn't have any like iconic lines. If anything, his armor looks cool. That's about it. You got a ranger. He does cool. He's like your bard in a way, because he can do like status effects with his bow. Like he put characters to sleep, lower defense, lower melee attack. It's pretty interesting. And there's also the weird thing is like this is one guy. Your last party member. He's also of Rohan. He's your spear user, but he's on a dragoon, so he's not going to jump in the air. At least I don't think he can jump in the air. And he's just like, because every party member up until then has like this cool moment. Like when you meet the ranger, he's like faking his own death to attract wargs to kill them, so he can kill them up close. Like that's cool. This guy, you're just going to Helm's Deep, and he's like, I'm going to join you, and the party's like, okay, that's it. It's like, oh, I guess you're here, okay. And like the only connection is that he was at the same battle that made Barathor run away and get banished. It's weird, but it's very fun. It's not the greatest game in the world, but like I legit played it for like 8 hours on Monday. Like I just wanted to keep playing. I wanted that Lord of the Rings high to continue, and I played it more on Wednesday. I'm almost at the end of the game. Like I'm in end game. I'm in Return to the King areas of it. So I kind of hit that wall where I'm like, okay, I clearly played this too much, and now it's like, fuck, I can feel it now. So I'll probably pick it up at some point because it's not a complicated game. It's very much like Final Fantasy X, and since it's very linear, there's no like big open maps. The areas are big enough. Like some areas, like specifically like in Moria, you'll have like 1 or 2 paths you can go down to, and you get a hidden chest or get a different set of armor. And it's weird. There's like actually a quest system in the game, but it's more of like you're gonna do this shit anyways. But we'll get you. Here's a way to get free experience. Like you can every time you open a chapter, you can open up the quest. You can open your quest menu. And you were like, well, it says do this or do this, and you're just gonna do that anyway in the game. Like you're gonna find it. And one last thing that I find interesting about it is that like most RPGs have random battles. I wouldn't even call them random battles in this game. They're like fixed battles. Like no matter how many times you play the game, when you walk to a certain area, you will fight at this location all the time. And I've done that. I've done save points. Like, okay, let me try it again. Every single time you get to a certain point in an area, you will fight. There's a little icon that'll go up, like that's the Eye of Sauron. Those are your random attacks or random encounters, but they happen so few. You'll more get set battles versus battles, which I like because I don't feel dangerous, feel in danger when exploring the world. Helm's Deep pissed me the fuck off as a kid because that's the one it took me forever as a kid because it's true to the movie where you have to hold off a row of enemies. So you kill a party of enemies, that's it, you're done. In Helm's Deep, and there's 3 different sections of it, you kill one, more will come, like another one will join up, and then there's fucking suicide ones. It's just like, oh my god, this is so frustrating, I'm gonna die. I managed to do it in my first try on that one. So but if you want to know hell and you're not prepared for Helm's Deep, you're not gonna get past that point because the game locks you in. You get stuck there, you got a dead game. But the game is pretty good about its leveling system. Instead of like you get special abilities you can do, like a move, like Barathor can have a move that can specifically damage orcs better or lower melee defense. And you get those by say using that particular skill move, you'll gain 1 point towards that. And then if you use it 10 times, you'll gain the next one. And you can choose and each character has like a sort of branching path where like, well, do I get the one that can lower melee defense or do I get the one that can, put them to sleep? It's your choice. You're going to get them anyways, but what do you prioritize? And it's a little customizable on that. Again, not the greatest game in the world, but I like it, and I liked it back in 2004, and I like it now. If you have PS2, play it. It's interesting, especially if you like Lord of the Rings and you never played it. It's worth a shot. Just fight every enemy, use your special abilities, gain those powerful moves up, and you'll have fun.
The GBA version of it isn't terrible either.
I never played that. I was always curious about that.
It's more of a traditional turn-based RPG, but it's not bad.
Okay, if I ever find it, I never saw it because I remember seeing the advertising. I knew it existed, but I'm glad I got the console version.
Oh no, that one might be the strategy RPG. There is a traditional like Lord of the Rings RPG, but I can't. I think it. I don't remember if it's Third Age or not.
Oh, okay. Well, Third Age is like pseudo RPG, JRPG turn-based kind of thing, but
yeah.
With Smash coming out in 3 weeks, I've decided to officially pick up Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle again because Dragon Ball FighterZ netcode just keeps pissing me off every time I boot up that game. And it's at that point in the game's life cycle because the install base isn't as big on Switch as say it is on PS4 or necessarily even PC. So like only like the super good players are left. I'm like, well, let's do this, and I'm getting destroyed, but I still love that game. Like I really hated that I put it down for Fighters. and fighters is fine, but I love BB Tag, and I feel like I actually have a chance at BB Tag, and the netcode is so much better. I actually made a friend on there who just wanted to keep playing with me over and over again. Yeah, and he was like, more, and I was like, okay, one more. It was like 11:30. I'm like, okay, last one. All right, good night. And it's like, and he sent me a message on within the game, like, see you tomorrow, and I said maybe, and then I left. But so that's cool. I'm gonna try to play it tonight again because I have a problem. But that's it really. Third Age pretty much consumed me. I didn't even play Yakuza this week. Like that's how much Third Age consumed my life.
Wow.
I'm gonna get back to Yakuza. It's just I'm thirsting for Tolkien, damn it, and that game was the drug that I needed, and I got my high, and I think I'm done for a while. But I'm gonna beat it. I'm gonna beat it because I want to beat it. Because I have a story to tell about that. So,
is it about Third Age?
It's about Third Age. It's funny because it's about my little brother being salty as fuck. So there's a point where you fight on the Pelennor Fields, like in the movie, and you fight the Nazgul King, the thing where like the big crown, looking guy, the Wraith guy, and he's a hard boss, at least back in 2004, because this is actually the first console RPG I ever played, not Golden Sun. Golden Sun's handheld. This is his first console, and he would just kept kicking me and my brother's asses. Like we would trade turns and try strategies, or at least what we perceived strategy back in 2004. Till finally, I was like, well, wait a minute. Scroll down in there's got to be something in the items we can use. And there's an item you can get, and this can destroy bosses, and I love that you can do it. It's called Morgul Decay, and there's a component that kind of is important in Third Age that I don't really care about too much, but it helps. That each foe, like even your own characters, have an armor rating, and if you remove that, it'll do more damage. And so, if you use Morgul Decay, it completely removes the enemy's armor, like for the entire battle. And I did that, and he's like, "Look, I beat him. What did you do? I did this thing. I threw it on him, and I won." He's like, "You cheated." I'm like, "You didn't win with honor." I'm like, "Are you
with honor?"
Fucking boss. Okay, don't be mad because I did it, and I used the item that was in the game. All right. So for real, use more. If you have any tough ones, just use Morgul Decay and kick ass. The boss fights are weird, are the most difficult part in that game. But yeah, that's it. I love my younger brother, but I still to this day remember how salty he was because I used an item that's in the game to completely make an enemy a joke. Because after that, like I just boosted my defenses and then boosted my attack. So I hit him more often, and bam, I was like, okay, you're done. Oh, and you fight Sauron. Like you literally fight the Eye of Sauron at the end of the game. Like you're on the tower and you fight the eye. That's how the game ends. Yeah, play this game if this sounds somewhat interesting to you. Because the plot, fuck the plot. That doesn't matter. It's the gameplay.
Lord of the Rings doesn't have a plot, so.
Well, sure, you're tricking me.
What a fucking joke!
It's 3 movies of people walking up a mountain.
Yeah, and I fucking cried when I finished Return of the King this Sunday, man. Don't talk my emotions. But
because you're like, it's over. They finally got to the top of the mountain.
that was in 2003. That shit was relief. Like that was like, oh my god, I finally did it. But that's all I.
That's all I pee for the last 9 hours.
Oh my god, hold your bladder better, man.
Justin doesn't understand. It's okay.
Yeah, when Thomas and I do the commented or Lord of the Rings for December, it's gonna be awesome. I will love it.
I'm just trolling, and also Hobbit's better.
I'm gonna let you believe that because my own personal bias to the love of these movies will not let me sway otherwise. But that's all.
Watch them and find out.
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, that's all I've been playing. I desperately need to get back to Yakuza though.
Desperately.
Yeah, so most of this week I've been playing Hitman 2, the new Hitman game. I actually finished it earlier this week. It's not a very long game. It's pretty short. I think you only get maybe like 4 or 5 maps, something like that. The story is pretty cool, but it's just a bunch of like stills and like 3D renderings. There's no like actual animation to any of it, so it's kind of weird. The story is pretty cool.
Does it feel more budget than the first one?
Yeah, it feels more budget for sure. But it feels like it's more budget, but they've made it more friendly for newer users. Like it's a lot more friendly in telling you the different assassinations that you can conduct. For instance, you could just track an assassination from the beginning. Like you can just go into your menu and select track this one. You don't have to run around and find them anymore, which is in the first one you had to run around and find them all before you could start tracking it. But yeah, the story in this game is that it takes place right after the first one. You find out who's the one that's making all these contract killings, and it turns out to be like your not your foster brother, but like kind of like your orphanage brother, I guess. I don't know how else you would say that. Someone that you grew up with that's not your family. I don't know.
Familia.
From another mother.
Yeah, familia is not just blood. It's you guys are my family.
Oh.
Okay.
I would take the ring to Mordor with you.
Yay! I would.
Wait, no, that's Lord of the Rings. Dang it.
Yeah.
I would take down Smaug with you. Smaug. With you.
Smaug.
Smaug.
No, that's the thing that Californians have.
Oh shit. You shouldn't joke about the fires that are killing everybody.
No, I meant smugness. That's what I meant.
He's talking about pollution, just general pollution.
Yeah, not a dragon. There's no dragon attacking California.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, the story's a lot more interesting. It's kind of weird when you figure out as this 3D models just staring into blank space, because it's not even 2D, it's 3D. So it's like empty room where these like soulless, lifeless like character models are just standing and looking at each other. It's like, wow, this feels like I feel like I'm taken aback and I'm just looking at someone working on it and still. But the maps are pretty cool. Like the one for I think it's Florida, where it's the race car track. It's the one that you've all seen in the trailers and everything. That's a really cool map. There's a lot of diverse like density in it. Diversity, like just two different. It's basically two different like compounds put together. There's like a racetrack event going on and like a military showcasing going on. There's also one that takes place in just like the suburbs of America, so it's pretty cool. It's really weird to just be like out in the open trying to kill people in suburb America. Apparently there's like yes, apparently there's assassination attempt of like attending like a barbecue. I want to see what that's like Hitman 47, Agent 47 and like Kiss the Cook apron or something. The one I did was that I just poisoned these muffins. No, I poisoned this muffin to kill this guy that was a realtor agent, and you're showing off this house to one of like to your target, and you go downstairs into the basement and there's like a security vault, and the guy's like, "Ooh, yes, this is great," and he disables the security for it, goes inside, and you enable security, and the lasers turn on, and he goes, "Don't do that," and he just blows up in front of you. It's pretty great. Awesome. Yeah. My two favorite maps are the ones that take place in America. Go figure. And then
You're a bad Canadian.
And the last mission just takes place on this weird island where there's all these people in these masks, like trying to be like rich and like secret society types. And I really didn't like that map. There was just a lot of security and a lot of like, you actually have to play Hitman really well in order to get around anywhere. And some of the costumes that you can first get don't really give you a lot of free access. Like I like the Hitman maps that I like are the ones that are a little bit more open, a little bit more that allows you to like explore the area without getting caught so much. Yeah, so this weekend or last weekend I played Hitman with Furtive.
Yeah,
it was pretty cool. Like
our good anonymous friend.
Good anonymous, yeah. QT is his other name. Yeah, so we played the ghost mode in this, and the ghost mode is essentially there's two players in two different maps. Like we have our own instances, so whatever I do in my map doesn't affect his map unless I take out the target or I fail to take out the target. And then for his side, he has like 20 seconds, I believe, to take out his target. So you can kind of force someone to take out a lose their target assassination. If you take yours out by screwing up or whatever, like you don't get the point, he doesn't get the point. So you could be kind of competitive in that way. But he hasn't played Hitman 2 before playing with me, so he didn't know the map. I knew the map because I played it for like 5 hours. So I knew where to go and where everything was while he was just stumbling around, didn't know where to go. And it doesn't reset your alert status when you die, so he keeps getting caught and he keeps getting shot by the police and the security and stuff. So he couldn't do anything while I was just sneaking around, killing my targets, taking everybody out, and being a pro hitman. There was one point where I was up in this like the racetrack area. There's like a thing above it where people like wave the flags or whatever. I was up there and I had a sniper rifle, so I was just like looking for my targets, like trying to pick them off. Yeah, it's a pretty cool mode, but they really need to work on it. There's only one map available so far, and also they need to do something about the alert status, like try to alleviate that, because once you screw up, you're done. There's no hope in hell in getting to 5 points. So they need to do something about that to change that up. Otherwise,
that's disappointing.
Yeah, it really is. But otherwise, it's a pretty good Hitman game. I recommend it. It's just more Hitman. If you're not into Hitman, probably won't sway you one way or the other. I'd say the first one's a little bit better just because I like more of the maps on that one. But second one's pretty good too. And yeah, I'm gonna kill Sean Bean in 4 days.
No, don't kill Boromir. He just wanted to save his country.
I like that he's in all the ads and stuff, just because everyone knows like Kill Sean Bean is a thing.
Right. There's also one thing that you have this thing called a briefcase now. Like it wasn't in the first game, but in the second one, you can carry around a briefcase and you can fit like almost anything in it. You can put like a sniper rifle in it if you want, and just walk around with it and go past security, and just like take it up somewhere where you can snipe people. It's pretty cool.
It's like the case in Resident Evil 4, except you can actually see it in game. Can you, or am I wrong?
What?
Can you actually see him carrying the suitcase in Hitman?
In Hitman, you carried the suitcase.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it's like Resident Evil 4 suitcase, but you can see, because I would love
you see him carrying it around, and you can also like place it on like tables and stuff. Yeah. I also have a rubber ducky that I just throw at people and blow them up with.
Make that the advertising campaign. Now featuring interactive suitcase physics.
My favorite thing to do is just knock people out with a suitcase. Is like walk up behind them and go blap.
That's because you watched Money in the Bank cash in so many times, and that's how.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
And Zero are confused. Mission accomplished.
I'm gonna cash in on your life.
Oh, I'm laughing at this right now.
Yeah, that's the. I think that's the only game I really played this week. Everything else has just kind of been ancillary. Like, I'm just need to chill and just zone out to something. I picked up Killer 7. Gonna play that this week. I haven't played that since the PS2. And
wow.
I never got very far in the PS2 because for some reason the aiming in that game was awful, and they fixed that in the new game in this Steam version. Yeah. So, Justin, where can people find you?
Yes. They can find me if they look up Zero Score on YouTube or Twitter. Or, I guess now if they look up Zero Score Gaming on Twitch, because I'm going to start doing that.
Oh, no.
I did realize that I forgot to mention that I streamed on Monday. It was kind of a test stream, so I'm going to start like doing that more, like probably weekly. I realize that it's kind of hard to like exist on the internet now without being some kind of streamer. So I guess I have to start doing that now. I'm not like, I'm not reluctant about it. It is fun. I mean, Lo hung out with me a little bit. It was a good time. We played I played some Mario Odyssey, and I made a giant tower of Goombas, and we talked about how much it must suck to be the bottom Goomba for a while. It was funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, my goal is to basically just stream games that like I need to record anyway for videos, so that I'm actually like, you know, justifying the time I spend streaming because I would play those games anyway. But yeah, Zero Score Gaming on Twitch. I just redid all my graphics and stuff. I'm trying to put some effort into it to make it seem legit. But that's my promotion this week.
Low.
You guys can find me on Twitter at Nero the Hero, N3R0, THEH3R0. You can also find me on YouTube, Nero the Hero with letters. And if nothing else catches on fire, you can catch me here next week.
Well, you're away from the fires now. So. Ben.
You can go to twitter.com/MarvelSiggy, where you're going to get a whole bunch of anime titties on your feed, because I'm no longer going to be afraid, clowns. But for real, you can then also go to chargeshot.com, where you can check out interview that I did for this Matt from who is Matt Makes Games, the developer behind Celeste, a Game of the Year candidate, which, by the way, I want to say, I know it was my personal Game of the Year, but I called it. But either way, go celebrate that. Go play Celeste if you haven't already played it. Go watch my video. You can get to my pinned tweets. I haven't done that in a while. I know Octopath is there, but if you go there, you'll be able to. If you go, Octopath is still the pinned one, but from there you can find the ramble I did on Celeste, the first one I did, and I love it, and I love that game. And fuck you, AC Odyssey doesn't deserve to be on that fucking list. Anyways. Yeah, twitter.com/MarvelSiggy for assault about Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
And also, Matt Makes Games made Towerfall, and that just released on the Switch, and that's real good too.
Yeah, the interview is easily our most viewed piece of content. So.
Oh my god, I'm gonna start crying.
It was killing on Reddit.
Yeah.
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 Pretty great.
Also, it's great. You can check me out on Twitter, CSG Thomas on Twitter. You can also email me, thomas@charshot.com, if you want to get in touch with us for interviews. I can pass them along to Ben or Justin or anyone else that wants to do them.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, and yeah, chargeshot.com. That's where all of our audio, video, and written content lives. And until then, guys, enjoy your games.
Bye.
Okay, let me crack this one open before we start. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm a little bit. I gotta get up earlier, so I can only have one.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I feel like I should get more, but also we're already going kind of late, and I'm super tired because my painful tooth kept me up all night.
Oh.
So let's just keep going. I should not drink anymore.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Video Game News and News Show, hosted by your hosts Thomas and Justin.
Hi.
And
I got nothing. I never have an interesting.
You never have anything. You just say hello, and it's like that's it.
Because I just make fun of you every week the same way.
Yeah.
Battle cries.
And Ben.
The Messenger should be on the fucking Game of the Year, not fucking AC Odyssey. I'm salty. God damn it.
I bought the Messenger. I have not played it
One indie
yet.
game.
One. It's a game. No, fuck you. You little token indie game. Celeste is a great game. You're telling me a game is $60 and has a bunch of microtransactions and slow and is very middling scores on Steam. You're telling me that's Game of the Year? Fuck you. Put the Messenger on there, you fucking cowards. Jeff Keighley, I know you. I'm sorry.
No, you don't.
I'm very passionate. I love the Messenger. I love that game.
I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying the idea on the internet is you get one indie game representation.
Indie games are
and
better.
Celeste deserved it over the Messenger.
Agreed, but be a fucking man and fucking put the Messenger over AC Odyssey. Telling me that fucking game is better than the Messenger? Screw you.
Spider-Man. Well, Spider-Man is on there.
Well, Spider-Man deserves to be on there. I'm not arguing Spider-Man. Yeah. AC Odyssey is the one I'm salty about.
I know. I was gonna say Spider-Man deserves it, but then I forgot it was already on there. So never.
No, Red Dead's probably gonna win because the writers probably paid off Jeff Keighley or some shit like that.
Yeah. Red Dead's been so like divisive though. Spider-Man.
No, it's gonna win.
Amazing game.
Yeah. I'm pulling for Celeste because that's my girl.
I don't feel strongly about any games that came out this year.
Oh,
I feel strongly about Spider-Man, but Red Dead's horseballs are gonna win because like there's just so much depth to Red Dead. It's gotta win. But I don't want it to.
You want to move on so we can get through the show faster?
Yes.
Okay. We can all agree on that.
News too. News too.
Xbox announcements during XO18. There wasn't a whole lot there, just a couple of like announced like acquisitions and like a release date, and that's kind of about it.
Nothing.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot. I really wasn't expecting like anything at all, but what the hell, we got a couple of things out of it. So yeah. Obsidian Entertainment and In Exile Entertainment have both been acquired by Microsoft. PC gamers are gonna know those because, well, they're really famous in the PC gaming market. And the Obsidian one was rumored for a long time, and now it's just finally true.
That's a good get, though.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, Obsidian's good. Good stuff.
Crackdown 3 was announced for release for February 15th, 2019.
Woohoo.
Cool. It's going to be on Game Pass. Speaking of Game Pass, Battlegrounds is coming to Xbox Game Pass.
Cool.
They talked about having some better implements into the Windows Store, which is they really need a makeover for that thing.
The whole thing.
Yeah, really.
Windows
honestly,
Store.
they need to scrap it
Just
and make a
start
new
over.
one. Yeah.
100 games enter, only one is featured.
Hellblade: Sesuna's Sacrifice getting a physical edition. Kingdom Hearts 3 going Winnie Pooh mini games. Final Fantasy 13 backwards compatibility.
Hey, the Winnie the Pooh trailer for Kingdom Hearts 3 is a big deal. They hadn't shown anything for Winnie the Pooh yet.
Who cares?
Granted, that's always the worst world in every Kingdom Hearts game.
Yeah, it's just Mini World Land, isn't it?
Yeah, it pretty much is. But our little honey bear's back. That's all I'm gonna say.
Have fun. Final Fantasy games coming to the Xbox One. There's a bunch of them. There's X's and I's and V's.
The same ones that are going to every other console right now.
Bunch of Roman numerals.
Just a bunch of Roman numerals.
Yeah.
Civ Rev is enhanced for Xbox One. Sea of Thieves getting some game modes. I think that's just like a PvP mode or the arena. Yeah, if it's crews against each other to see who can get the most pressure. There
was an Xbox with a hat.
Yeah, man, Xbox with a hat. Biggest news of XO18. State of Decay 2 is getting some new weapons and gear. And the new Zed Hunter update. I haven't played that since a few months ago, so I want to boot that back up. Devil May Cry 5 is getting a mode called The Void.
The Void.
It's a training space for fine-tuning Devil May Cry skills. That's kind of just like in every game.
It's training mode.
The other games had that, right? Or you just, or maybe that I'm thinking of Bayonetta. Bayonetta had
fighting. Well, fighting games always have them, but not. You'd be surprised how many action games don't have them. But
yeah, Bayonetta had.
Bayonetta.
That's what I was thinking of.
Between loading screens.
No, there's a.
I love how sassy this article is.
Cats and pandas coming to Minecraft? Okay.
Yeah.
Shadow...
No, if you like these two animals, it's going to be a great time for you. It's pretty great.
Shadow Tumor getting new challenge tomb. Mouse and keyboard support coming to 14 titles. Bomber Crew, Warface, Children of Morta, Minion Master, Daisy, Warframe, Strange Brigade, Deep Rock Galactic, Warhammer, Vermintide 2, Morton Lightner, War Group, Vigor, War Thunder, X-War Defense, and Fortnite. There you go.
All of those games that were definitely defined words are getting keyboard and mouse support.
Yay!
Yeah, that should already be implemented. It was started on November 14th.
Yeah, because Xbox is a Windows PC, basically.
They really all are just PCs now, except for the Switch. It's like the only like unique thing, really. Winter of Arcade throwback to Summer of Arcade coming to Xbox later this year. No games announced for that yet. Forza Horizon 4 new expansion coming out later this year. I should really get back in on that.
Cool.
American Truck Simulator has been taking over my driving game.
Really? Of all the driving games, American Truck Simulator.
Yeah, I talked about it a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, he just wants to be American.
Yeah,
I think he does. He just wants a rig. We should start a.
I want to drive my 18-wheeler across America and assassinate people in America.
You don't want to be American, though. Americans don't want to be American.
Well, he doesn't have to be a truck driver. He just has to be able to cross country lines.
Truck drivers are very American. I've seen them.
Just get a trucker hat and wear flannel. There you go. Boom.
Listen, there's a Canadian TV show about truckers. So
Ice Road Truckers?
I think that's it.
Yeah, we get it down here. It's on AMC, I think. Or it was. I don't have cable.
I just remembered I watched one episode and they were like in Edmonton or something. So the more west you go, the more American it gets.
Really?
I think so. I don't know.
What closer to Washington you get?
Yeah.
16 games were announced for Xbox Game Pass: Battlegrounds, Ori and the Blind Forest, Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Did that come out?
No, not till next year.
Thief of Thieves Season 1, Void Bastards, Hellblade: Season's Sacrifice, The Good Life, which is interesting.
Also not out yet.
Yeah, Kingdom, Two Crowns, After Charge, Supermarket Shriek.
Cool.
Mutant Year Zero, which is also not out. Pathologic 2, Secret Neighbor, The Good Life Again, and Agents of Mayhem,
Nice.
and
Wait,
XG
is this actually
3,
1,
and Thomas Was Alone.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, it is 17 games listed here, so they just put the Good Luck twice.
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay, I wanted to make sure.
I know. I made that point in another Discord, and they're like, "You're a good copywriter." I'm like, "Yes, that's what I do or what I did for a living." Yeah, it's interesting that they listed a bunch of games, like a few games here that aren't out yet. So maybe I don't know.
Game Pass always gets like first party titles day and day.
Yeah,
though.
but not The Good Life. That's not a first party title.
Maybe they're the publisher.
Who knows?
Rare needed money to get this game finished.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's all the announcements for EXO. So moving on to more oh no, that's not right. Close that. Some more games being announced. Command & Conquer Red Alert Remastered announced. What do you guys think? Red Alert fans here?
Give me the mobile one. Okay.
No.
I don't. Hey, for people who were bitching about it in E3 for that demo one, here you go. I hope you're happy.
No one else here? No? Okay.
No, sorry.
My cousins had, I think it was Red Alert for the PS1, and we would always play on that. That was like kind of their first, like RTS game. And I never played any of the other ones after that. I always thought it was more of a console thing, but apparently they're PC games. I didn't know that. But yeah, I'm excited to relive my years of a child as a youth playing Red Alert with my cousins. More Xbox news. Microsoft plans to launch a disc-free Xbox One in 2019.
It was bound to happen at some point.
Rumors are circulating that Microsoft is working on a version of its current-gen console that lacks a disc drive. A move reportedly seeks to shave off as much as $100 off the Xbox One's current price tag of $299.
Really?
Yep.
I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, I would actually just make sure it has to be at minimum 1 to 2 terabyte though, because of just how.
Like an Xbox One X, I think I'd be fine with. Xbox One, it's already cheap enough, honestly.
Yeah.
But the One X, I think, could use a shaving. So if they get rid of the disk drive to make that happen, great. Like $300 Xbox One X with a 2 terabyte hard drive, like you said.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Since the variant of Xbox One is planned for 2019 release, according to the tech site Thurrott, conversations
That's
with
not real.
people familiar
You
with
just
it.
made that up.
I thought you said "be gone" thought for a second.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's just rumors right now, rumors and speculation. They also on the site they plan to have the rumor is that they're gonna have a disc to digital program to help smooth the transition. Let people trade on Xbox One discs for digital game codes.
Oh my god! If only Nintendo would do that shit for the Wii U to Switch, that would be godlike. That is godlike if this is true.
Honestly, seriously.
But they can charge $60 for games, and they get in the top selling list of their titles. So why would they do that?
Yeah, because fuck pro consumer. Anyways, I'm done.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if new cons like the next generation will have a SKU that's disc drive and then non-disc drive. That wouldn't surprise me.
Show.
Yeah.
I mean, cloud gaming's the future anyway. So
Yeah.
what's the point of a disc?
People want to have Blu-rays and collect physical media because
People love their physical media. It's really interesting. It was
I like buying Blu-rays. I don't know why. I just stick them in a drawer. Like I don't.
My PS4 is my Blu-ray player, but we only ever get Blu-rays anymore from like Redbox. Everything else is digital. Or I'll buy the Blu-ray, put the digital code into Voodoo, and then never touch the Blu-ray again. I just watch the digital version.
There you go.
But it's still there. Like if someone wants to borrow the movie or something, or like they don't have a Blu-ray player but they have a DVD player because the Blu-ray always comes with the DVD also. Like there's options then.
Not unless
for,
you're Marvel.
For games, I don't care anymore. I forgot. I pre-ordered Pokemon and physical for the the bundle with the Pokeball and everything. It's the first physical Switch game I've bought since what was in the system before? Since Mario and Rabbids.
Oh, wow.
That's what I have in my Switch right now.
Nice.
Yeah, because I got Mario Odyssey digital also because it was just easier that way to preload it.
Yeah. Speaking of Devil May Cry from earlier, it joins the Castlevania in a new multiverse. What?
That's weird. That's weird. That's
it's not
like
even the
selling...
same game companies.
No. Well, I mean, they're
one's
They're
Capcom, one's
similar.
Konami. I don't know.
It's a bootleg multiverse, okay?
that's a weird. That's a weird.
Adi
phrasing.
Shankar is a weird dude. All right,
Yeah.
let him do what he wants.
He's me, what I want to be. Anyways, all that matters is that we're gonna get cool, kick-ass Devil May Cry anime. Like if Castlevania is any kind of a hint, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. Wasn't there already a Devil May Cry anime though?
There was.
Don't talk about it.
It wasn't terrible.
I don't remember
No,
this at all.
just like no. People think DMC's the dark sheep of the Devil May Cry thing. No.
I like DMC. DMC was fun.
Yeah, so do I. I'm proud of it. Screw you haters.
Okay. Moving on.
The anime wasn't great though.
Sunset Overdrive officially coming to PC.
Thank Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, all
Stop
three of you,
speculating, people.
all three of you
Have
can
it.
enjoy that game, and I
Not
can
now.
just sit here and be mopey.
Listen,
Look.
look. It's gonna be $20 from what I
I think
read,
it's like $20.
Really?
$20, huh?
Yeah.
which is fair. That's fair price.
I still wouldn't get it right now because I've got
I would
Pokemon
expect it to
and
be
Spyro, but
I'm
that's-
gonna get it.
Yeah, it's already out.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, I'm gonna buy it right now. I'm gonna
there it
cause
Oh,
my
yeah, it's
download speed to
$20.
go to shit. This is gonna be awesome.
All right. Cool. Add to wish list.
Good
Yeah.
stuff.
The only thing that I played Sunset Overdrive, and my issue with it was just like I felt like the grinding wasn't really that useful, and that the missions weren't that great. Like they were just forcing you to do things you didn't really want to do. So that's just my opinion of that game from when I played it like 4 years ago. So
Yeah, it is that old, isn't it? Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, wow.
it's probably older.
Time comes for us. Time comes for us all.
Sony PlayStation will skip E3 in 2019. Dun dun dun.
Well, considering the weird esoteric shitfest they gave us last year, granted the games were good, but
oh man, that
'cause I don't-
presentation was fucking awful.
yeah,
They
I don't
don't know
ever
how
like,
to do a conference.
Yeah, I don't want to say that. So my headcanon is that Sony didn't leave. Somebody from E3 was like, "Look, you cannot. You're banned. You can't do this shit anymore. You're done." Like that's how I'm looking at this.
I don't know. I mean, E3.
We'll make our own E3 with waterfalls and hookers.
Forget the waterfalls.
As the industry evolves, Sony Interactive Entertainment continues to look for inventive opportunities to engage the community.
They're gonna do Nintendo Directs.
PlayStation fans mean the world to us. We always want to innovate, think differently, experiment with new ways to delight gamers. As a result, we have decided not to participate in E3 2019. We are exploring new and familiar ways to engage our community in 2019 and can't wait to share our plans with you.
They're gonna fucking copy Nintendo again, because that's what this shit is. They've all
New and familiar is my least favorite phrase ever. That's not true entirely, but it's stupid. Something can't be new and familiar. That doesn't make any sense.
I see what
That's
you're getting
market
at.
crap.
Yeah.
It's an oxymoron. isn't
Right.
it?
Mm-hmm.
I love that word. That's my favorite word in the English language.
What a new and
Oxymoron?
familiar
Yeah,
word.
hell yeah. It sounds awesome. And even you can use it out of context because simpletons don't know what it means, so it works in all situations.
Get away from me, you oxymoron.
What's that supposed to mean, huh?
They'll just hear the moron part and be like, "I do not have oxy."
What you call me?
No, this is big news because I mean, for one, they've never skipped it. It's in 24 years, which I guarantee is as long as PlayStation or Sony's been around with the PlayStation.
Yeah, I mean, their first press conference was them bombing, dropping shade at the Sega Saturn, where they just came up and said the price of the PlayStation, and then that was it. They started E3 meme history in 1995, whenever E3 first started.
But also, E3 as a thing has kind of been outdated for the last few years. So I don't blame them for leaving, but it's just really surprising. It feels like they already said they didn't have a PSX this year because they just had nothing new to show, basically. They're just hard at work on the current games they've already announced. Those are still coming. But it's we really are at the end of Sony's life cycle right now.
Which is weird.
And since they're not ready to announce the PS5, they just have nothing new to show. We're just kind of waiting out our time right now, which is weird to think about.
Yeah.
They're at the top, but we know everything that's coming from them.
Yeah, because they didn't even do this for the PS3 to PS4 because they were still showcasing stuff, even before the PS4 was still out. It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing is that they're not going to be on the show floor, right? Because they're pulling out entirely. So
yeah, they're not going to have a presence at E3.
It's crazy.
At all.
Strange. Very
Because
strange.
now it's an attendance thing. So people go in to buy tickets to go to E3 now, and there won't be a PlayStation presence on the show floor for people to go to.
Right.
It's crazy. It's like skipping PAX or whatever, all these other conventions that they go to. It's nuts.
Makes you wonder what makes you wonder what they are going to do.
Right.
I don't know.
No PSX, no E3. Yeah, what's the replacement?
And what's E3 gonna do? What are they gonna do to to fill in that booth space that they're gonna leave behind?
They might have a thing where it's maybe not in Los Angeles, but we're gonna do a special thing this week. Tune into twitch.tv/PlayStation or some stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
I guarantee Microsoft is going to announce their new console at E3 next year, just to spite Sony.
Probably.
They're going to have a huge showing. They're going to take over that extra space, and it's going to be all Xbox 2 or whatever.
It's going to look like E3's going to look like the Riddler's lair in Batman and Robin. There's green light everywhere, and I kind of want to go to E3 now just to cosplay as the Riddler and just be riddle me this, Batman.
The Xbox section.
Exactly.
We're not gonna have the angry Sony and Microsoft walls anymore.
Well, that's good. Yeah. That toxicity.
And Microsoft and Nintendo are friends, so that they're not gonna have angry walls at each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just,
What if Nintendo uses this to take over what Sony started and just fucking builds a huge Smash stage, right? You can
Smash
walk on
out
it
for 6 months at that point.
They might have DLC. I'm just speculating.
They'll have tournaments
Yeah,
at E3.
That's true.
Or Samus's ship right in the middle.
Oh yeah, I see Metroid Prime 4 being a huge showing. Metroid Prime 4 and Animal Crossing being the big showings for Nintendo at E3.
Live petting zoo.
There you go. But not real animals, all creepy volunteers and Animal Crossing animal costumes.
Oh my god!
Just walking around making noises.
So furries? Let's have Nintendo hire furries.
Yes,
Get Sonic Fox on the
but
phone.
exaggerated ones, big heads and stuff. It's gonna be a weird E3. That's the point we're making.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be crazy.
Everybody has to solve a riddle before going in.
Speaking of Metroid stuff, Nintendo Metroid Prime 4 is well in development.
Whoop whoop.
I don't know what this means.
Nice.
I mean, it's just it's coming. It's coming.
There's been a lot of interviews with Reggie recently, and he basically said stop asking me about Metroid Prime 4. We don't have a release date yet, but it's well in development.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all.
I think everybody's just waiting for them to announce Metroid Prime trilogy for Switch at this point.
Yeah,
That would be very
I
cool.
honestly like. I could see that being a Game Awards announcement from them.
Yeah.
Because it probably wouldn't be like this holiday season or anything. But if Metroid Prime 4 isn't coming out next year, which I think if it was, they would have more to show from it by now. But I could see like a summer of next year. I know I've speculated on this game like 5 times now, but I could see a summer of next year, like kind of during that drought, a Metroid Prime trilogy, and then at E3 next year, like I said, having a big Metroid Prime 4 presence of, you like the trilogy releases this summer because it'll probably be around the time of E3. And here's what's coming next from the Metroid Prime franchise. And it'll be like a huge trailer with gameplay and everything, and they'll have a release date of like spring 2020. Because part of what Reggie says here is typically 6 months to maybe a year out is what we like to do. But there are times for strategic reasons that we believe it's important to message that a game is coming. We did that years and years ago with Zelda. We were messaging a new Zelda experience back during the days of the Wii U. It really depends on the game. It depends on the type of development that it's going through, and it depends on how we feel the consumer is going to respond to the particular message. So they wanted to tell people that Metroid Prime 4 was coming, so they'd stop saying, hey, when's the next Metroid game coming? But now everyone's just, hey, why haven't we seen more from Metroid Prime 4? So the fact that he's getting out in front of it and saying it's well in development, but we have nothing else to announce at this time, something's coming. But I don't see it being for E3 because this is a fairly huge game for them. And if they don't have a Smash, they don't have a Zelda, they don't have a Mario, they're going to bank on their next biggest franchises, which will be the next mainline Pokemon coming out next holiday season, I think. Yeah. Metroid, which I would see being a fall or spring, like I said, spring 2020. And Animal Crossing, which usually is springtime, so maybe even spring 2019, honestly. But again, they like to do 6 months to a year out. They announced it's coming. We haven't seen anything from it. If it's spring next year, that's 4 to 5 months out now. So I don't know. It's a weird space where like they've hit their major points, and so it's hard to say what their next focus would be. But yeah, Game Awards. I'm just calling it right now. Hype machine. Game Awards. We get a Metroid Prime trilogy announcement. That's kind of on the level of Bayo 3 that we got last year. And then E3 is going to be all Animal Crossing, Pokemon, and Metroid. With Sony not there, they're going to pull out their big guns. Same with Microsoft.
Square Enix begins work on AAA title for PS5. Spotted by a Reset Era user, No Life BR. Since removed LinkedIn profile for 3D character model lead artist Tomohiro Tokoro included the next generation game as part of his work at the studio alongside a new mobile title for China. And the canceled DLC for Final Fantasy 15. So
they're already working on Final Fantasy 16 for PS5.
No, it's Final
That'll come out at the end of the PS5 life cycle, probably.
Yep.
It's the Final Fantasy 7 remake.
That doesn't exist.
No, it's not real.
Yeah.
They're actually starting it.
Yeah, they're finally putting actual gameplay elements into that.
There was like a news story saying something that's like, oh yeah, it's like just like that Nintendo Metroid one. It's being developed. It's being worked on.
Yeah, but the thing is, we can believe Nintendo. I can't believe Square.
No, they said something recently where they're still in like the pre-production phase of it. Like they're coming up with what they want the game to be.
That's been 3 fucking years.
Right. So that game's not real.
They're coming up with what they want the game to be. The game is
Listen. Just fucking buy the...
It's Final Fantasy 7. That's what they want it to be.
Yeah. just buy the game on Steam.
Right.
Buy when it comes on Switch and just fucking enjoy that. Because you're going to hate the remake when it comes out anyway. If it comes out anyways.
Oh, that remake
come out on
looks
every
so
system
good.
that exists in the past 20 years. Just make that again.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
Well, it's Square Enix. Everything's got to be hard.
Ugh.
Yeah.
This is definitely Final Fantasy 16. I'm just calling it. Because they can't make any more money off 15, so they got to move on.
PUBG announced for PlayStation 4.
Cool.
New suits, story info, and release date.
Wait, what? Hold, like story?
For
In
Spider-Man
PUBG?
2nd DLC, Turf Wars.
Oh, I was like, there's lore in PUBG and that biggest.
No, we're just
game?
moving on because no one cares about PUBG anymore.
Yay! I win.
Still a great game. Yeah, talk about your Spider-Man stuff.
Yeah, so it's kind of spoilers to talk about the story of this one because it picks up literally right after the last DLC. But Hammerhead is the main focus of this DLC.
Yay! Love that rock
That
guy.
in itself, I guess, isn't technically a spoiler.
No.
The new suits aren't great though.
No, they're terrible.
What
You don't
my
like the
issues
Iron
with-
Spider?
It's fine. I don't really like all the red suits, like the red focused suits.
It could just be the background, but it looks like trash.
It's not great. But my problem with the DLC suits so far have been that they don't have any special powers associated with them. So they're just aesthetic. Like they need to, like if they're going to introduce all these cool suits, you got to introduce some cool ability with them to mix up the gameplay. But I guess by this point they figure everyone has their favorite ability, so they're just going to use whatever cosmetic suit anyway. So what's the point in developing the new abilities? But I don't know. It just takes the appeal out of these new suits when there's there's nothing new attached to them aside from the visual, and the visuals haven't been great. Even the last ones weren't great. This one has this weird like cartoony suit to it, which I hate. The Spider Armor Mark 1 is literally just a reskin of the Mark 2.
What a
that's already in
surprise!
the game.
Justin hates the anime one.
It's not an attractive looking suit.
Why does
Why
does he have Muay Thai like wraps around his arms?
right? What is he, Daredevil?
Right?
But I do like the wraps on Daredevil's costume,
Yeah,
by the way.
yeah.
But there's another one that's like kind of a comic, like cell shaded look in the regular game. I don't like that one either. It just looks weird in the art style of the game. Like Ben said, the Iron Spider armor is fine, like it's accurate, but I just don't like the ones that are like solid red. My main suit, I mean, obviously when I've been replaying it for the series, I've been using the actual main suit that is introduced in the game. But my main like canon suit when I was playing originally was the black and blue suit with like the kind of the red stitching. I don't even like that red stitching. It was just the coolest suit I could find that had the least amount of red in it. But yeah, these are not great. And if they don't have any abilities or anything, they don't feel worth it at all to me. But I'm hoping this actual DLC has a little bit more to it than the first one did. The story of it, sorry, I'm vamping. It says Hammerhead has declared war against the other Dawns of the Magia, which is from the first DLC, and will be using equipment that was left behind by Sable International. It will be up to Spider-Man and Yuri Watanabe to put an end to the violence that has erupted in the streets of the city. In addition to a new story, Turf Wars includes new bosses, crimes, challenges, trophies, and the 3 new suits we already talked about. So they just keep giving like a new clan the Sable International weapons, which are my least favorite part of the game. I hate Sable International. Give me something entirely new. A lot of this DLC feels lazy so far. I'm just going to say that. I love the game. It has an amazing story. All of this DLC feels lazy. Like they're just tacking things on to what was a perfectly good standalone thing on its own. I don't regret getting the season pass because I just want more of this game, but it hasn't done enough with the concept to justify its existence. This should be essentially the Spider-Man 2 in DLC form, but there's been like occasional little like phone conversations with characters that kind of progress from the main story, and then it's just like little bite-sized chunks of side story, like unrelated to the main story stuff. It's not much to grab onto. I don't expect much from this either.
Nintendo ROM site lawsuit results in $12 million judgment.
So you've just given up on transitions, huh?
Yeah.
Cool.
When I'm in the mood, I'll do them, but when I'm not, I just don't care.
So yeah, the story here is that Love Retro and Love ROMs, which are both run by a married couple, have been taken down
love.
and lost a lawsuit against them, awarding Nintendo over $12 million. That's insane. That is much more than any other lawsuit against, or deposition against a ROM site has ever had to pay. So I guess they're just really cracking down and trying to use these guys as an example of like, hey, this is going to keep getting worse. Stop putting these up. But man, they got hit hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know where they got that number from. Like, where would they get that number from?
I assume it's like past ones where they justify it as like this is lost sales. And like
they could just make
it
up any
might
number.
also be like the amount of money they've made on the advertising and stuff.
Maybe.
Like they looked into the accounts of you've made $12 million off these two sites.
Yeah.
So we're taking the entirety of that money from you.
Yeah, I hope they have that kind of money because goddamn, it's
Right.
crazy.
Yeah.
And the fact that you could make that much on an illegal operation, it just seems crazy to me.
Right. Yeah. it's just an insane amount of money. Also to note is that they also handed over the sites to Nintendo as well, and they had to sign something saying that they'll never be in breach of Nintendo's copyright again. So, speaking of some more Nintendo
Nintendo's
stuff,
crazy.
yeah, Nintendo is cracking down. You better watch out. Speaking of more Nintendo stuff, Pokemon Detective Pikachu trailer dropped.
It's so cute.
I haven't seen it yet.
What?
I still haven't seen it.
I thought you posted it.
You? No, Ben. Someone posted it.
I posted it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually a really good trailer.
I've heard it's a great trailer, and also the
Yeah.
look is well done as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I would hate seeing them all kind of realistic looking, but it works.
They're
like
not-
the ones that
yeah.
should be furry are like accurately furry. The ones that are scaly like have good texture to them. Mr. Mime just is a freak of nature that shouldn't exist. It makes sense. I never would have pictured Pikachu that furry, but I like that look now that I see it.
Yeah.
I need to see Eevee in this movie though, because Eevee, you can tell he's super fluffy, and I want that in a movie. I want that fluff. Then
I was skeptical about this movie for the longest time, but like this trailer sold me. Like,
yeah,
if you'd have told me Pokemon would look this good, I mean, and they're faithful to how they look,
yeah.
like they're still the iconic designs. Just they actually like some of you people need to learn to chill the fuck out and just like you could have like enjoy something for once in your goddamn lives, but. Like, I love the Jigglypuff, just like, sitting in a lounge bar and then, like, you can tell he's asleep and just look.
It's a coffee bar, too, which is so great.
I love the herd of Bulbasaurs. I actually, like, screeched at the herd of Bulbasaurs. Like, oh, it's Bulbasaur! It's like, I'm going to beat little kids to get in this theater because if it's back. Like, fuck you. I've been alive longer than any of you were a thought in your mom's and your dad's testicle. I'm seeing this movie before any of you guys. I look forward to it.
Mom's tentacle.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds' voice is still a little weird to hear coming from Pikachu.
It is.
Like, cause like I'm waiting for him to say something vulgar, just because of Deadpool and what he's known for, or other movies he's done in the past. But like, it works. It gets the job done. I want this to be. Even if this movie turns out to be mediocre. It looks like it's going to be fun, and that's all I can really want out of a Pokemon movie.
Yeah. And I like all the, like, seeing all the Pokemon in the background and stuff. Like, I mentioned in the main show how it's just, like, people are just walking around and the Pokemon exist.
Oh yeah.
Like I just have it paused in a random shot of the city, and there's a Charmander like pushing his way through the crowd, and a Dodrio like walking along everyone.
There's
and like some Comfey up in the sky, and like some Pidgey kind of flying around doing their bird stuff. Like they're everywhere, and it's just life. It's just the way it is, and that sounds so cool. Like to see when you see it in a game, it's one thing. Like when it's in a movie and like it's real actors just like hanging out with Pokemon, it's like it feels real, even though they look pretty fake. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's just something about it that just like it makes it feel so much more real than like the cartoony look of a game.
Or like the somewhat like some people like to draw like the realistic looking Pokemon because that would look awful.
Yeah, they look fake enough that like, oh, these are mythical creatures. But like the fact that they are existing with real people, it's suspension of disbelief, I think.
Yeah. Oh, and the Mr. Mime is the one that sold me on the trailer, telling Pikachu to up. He's telling you up yours, like in sign language.
Or shove it.
Oh, shove it. Yeah. I don't know where I got.
And then he hits the light screen.
Yeah. I love that. And Mr. Mime is terrifying, as he should be, because mimes are terrifying.
Yeah, it looks cool. I like the style of it and everything. Just that one shot when they're in that like alley, it's just like I just imagine like a Blade Runner world with Pokemon in it and how cool that would look.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
My last news stories are THQ Nordic related. So, THQ Nordic purchased the studio behind Goat Simulator, Coffee Stain Studios. And with that, there've been their sales have gone up 1,403% from 2017 to today.
Really?
Their money laundering scheme continues, I see. They're not a real company. Come on. Like we can all admit that they're not a real company, right?
For the 3 months ended,
development, and we've seen 3 of them, maybe.
From the 3 months ended September 30th, the publisher reported net sales of $139.5 million, a staggering year-on-year increase of 1,403%, over 9.3 million reported in the same period last year, 2017. The reason for the growth is the acquisition of Coach Media and Deep Silver. Earlier, how did Deep Silver, the one that I had struggled with?
I don't know.
Earlier this year, effectively doubling the publisher's potential revenues. Titles by this segment saw sales of 27.6 million, with the release of Dakar 18 and Pathfinder Kingmaker cited as key performers. I haven't heard of either of those things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this just seems like they're just getting sales by acquiring things, and that I don't know if that's a good thing. It sounds like a bad thing.
It's capitalism.
Okay.
It's money laundering.
It's money laundering. All right. Well, damn. Okay. That's it.
That's all I got. I can't take their acquisition seriously until we actually see some games from them. No one studio. I mean, I know they have a lot of studios, but no one company has 55 games in development. 90% of which have not been shown.
All the games that they have in development are just bought by, like, they just bought them up. They're not making them.
But they're buying up a bunch of studios that are notoriously like not working on anything because their last projects failed. So it's just saying that they're spending money on things so no one questions where their money is going. Classic money laundering.
So what you're saying is, it's a Hydra front.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Except without the Hydra. It's probably drugs or something.
Probably, yeah. Because Hydra's
or like prostitution. I don't know.
Yeah. Mortal Kombat 11 might be shown at the Game Awards. There's a rumor going around. So
that'd be cool.
I hope so.
Suppose like Jeff Keighley or whoever it is tweeted that like this Game Awards is going to have the most announcements that they've ever had.
It comes out the day before. It comes out the day before Smash too. So it's like,
wow.
Yeah. That's when you need to get some publicity for sure.
Yeah. Bring on the hype train. I got nothing else.
So I was just doing some research on something. Yeah,
Oh.
never mind.
Money laundering schemes?
Yeah. I'm asking my boss how he does it.
We can turn Chart Shot into a front if you want.
I'm editing that out.
I'll be the fall. I'll happily be the fall guy.
Only the
Yeah.
live version will have it. I'm editing this out.
I mean, we've got some legitimacy now with that interview. We could turn this into a front. Just give me the word and we're good.
Zero has connections. I love it.
I will launder your money in a heartbeat.
Nobody suspects the guy from the Midwest. He's too wholesome.
I work for the government. What would I do wrong?
Everything.
Please cut this out.
Yeah. All right, great
Hey,
show,
Justin.
guys.
Hey Justin, we're gonna need to talk to you in a minute about your status here.
Hey, I just had my into probation chat this morning, so I'm good now.
You're in. Great show, guys. Justin, where can the people find you?
Totally wholesome, nothing wrong show. They can find me. Oh, Callie looks really cute right now. Sorry, I got distracted. I moved the cat chair over like in view because it was behind my monitors, so I could never see them being cute. So now I'm easily distracted. They can find me if they just go where cats are. If they look up Zero Score on Twitter or YouTube, or if they search for Zero Score Gaming on Twitch, because I do that now.
And low.
You can find me on Twitter at Nero the Hero, N3R0, THEH3R0. You can also find me on YouTube, Nero the Hero with letters. And most of the time you can find me here on Church.
And Ben.
You can find me at twitter.com/animetitties for life, where you just get nothing but anime titties on your feed, constant and retweeting from other anime tweet.
Can you put anime titties on Lord of the Ring characters
that-
for me, please?
Nothing but.
Is that with T's or D's?
D's titties.
Okay. Anime
Yeah.
4? Like letter 4 or number 4?
Number 4. You just gotta abbreviate that shit.
For life.
Is there an anime titties for life?
There's a hashtag,
Oh, okay, well, that's a wonderful hashtag.
but not an account.
You can, but seriously, go to chargeshot.com, where I did an interview with Matt from Matt Makes Games, from the developer from Game of the Year contender, Celeste. So if you want to know more about Celeste before the Game Awards show on December 6th, live on Twitch.tv, and
The Game Awards.
I don't want to give Jeff Keighley that much because he's too much of a coward to put the messenger on the fucking show. Anyways,
It's voted on by industry peers. It's not him.
I'm pointing. Look, he's the fall guy. He's the face. He's the Dorito Pope. I'm putting it on. Anyways, go show your support for Celeste.
Wait, did you say Dorito Pope?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, Dorito Pope. But that was
I don't
that's what he was
understand.
called.
Right?
That's what he was called. I'm just referring to old memes because I'm boring.
I do
Anyway.
remember that meme, though.
Go show your support for Celeste. Go read the article. Go share the article, and then go vote at the Game Awards, and to show that the people that in any game could truly be the greatest game of the year, and not a game that made its workforce work over 100 hours on horseball physics. You can do it, America. I believe in you. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I can't because you elected Donald Trump to the office. I don't know. I don't have faith anymore. Go Celeste. I'm done.
Dorito.
Cool rant.
I don't even know where to begin. So let's just start at the end. You can follow me, your host, on Twitter, CSG Thomas on Twitter. You can also email me, thomas@charshot.com, and also send me an email.
Send nudes.
You can also visit our website, charshot.com, where all of our audio, video, and written content lives. And until then, guys, enjoy your games. Bye.
Bye.
Oh my god. Oh, kitty.